Hi, I'm Alex McCord, and welcome to The Real Deal on thestir.com. Today we're discussing episode 4 of season 6 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, as well as New Jersey and Beverly Hills gossip. So let's get right down to it so I can go sneak out and see the Hunger Games before my kids get home from school. Atlanta first. If something doesn't happen with Porsha soon, this is going to be her last season. It is now officially make or break, last-ditch effort time for her to stay on this show. Not because the ladies don't like her, but because she has been inaccessible to them. Last season, Porsha chose her husband over the ladies, and in lots of Housewives casts, the women are encouraged to band together, often to the detriment or exclusion of their men. If I had $1 for every time the New York producers wanted me to choose Jill or Bethany over Simon, I'd be rolling on the floor in money. In Atlanta, I swear, dogs are treated better than the men sometimes, and Porsha made a tactical error by not spending enough time with the ladies last season. She tries to make up for it this episode, explaining to the girls that her life, as they all knew it, was a lie, and now she can get to know everyone on her own merits. So, let's see. Everybody gets a second chance, Miss Porsha, but not very many people get a third, so it's on the line now. As a sidebar, was anyone else smacking their head against the screen watching Porsha talk to her therapist? The shrink asked a great question. Why'd you get married in the first place? Porsha snivelled that she wanted a husband and security. Oi! Word to the wise, don't wrap up your idea of security in another human being. Now, I may be irritated with NeNe's caricature performance this season, but she hit one nail square on the head. Make the money to hire your own damn jet. Don't rely on a man for that. Next, the drama between Kenya, Phaedra, and Apollo is clearly a tentpole storyline this season, and here's what stuck out to me from a behind-the-scenes perspective. Imagine for a moment that you are a reality TV producer. Who is going to make a better long-term castmate, Phaedra or Kenya? Now, we've already seen that the producers are picking Phaedra, but I agree with them. She wins, and here's why. Number one, Phaedra is still having babies, which is always an uplifting moment in the middle of the Housewives drama. And babies grow into toddlers who act cute and crazy from one second to the next. And if you film them long enough, you'll have plenty of footage to make that mom look like a horrible or wonderful mother, depending on how you feel about her at the time. Second, Phaedra has a husband, a house, and a career outside the show. And unless there's something she's not telling all of us, Kenya has none of that. I don't buy for a minute that Kenya rejected NeNe's realtor because she didn't like that apartment. I think she couldn't afford it. I think that Kenya looking at penthouses is like the Salahis looking at mansions in D.C. Wishful thinking. Next, when Phaedra speaks, there's thought behind it. Kenya speaks in really funny sound bites and one-liners, but there's no meaning behind it. We don't know what she's saying. And finally, if the whole cast dislikes you, you're going down. Everybody hates Kenya. Everybody loves Phaedra. Bottom line, I think the producers and Bravo have decided that Kenya's expendable, so she's getting the worst edit I have seen in a while. This episode, I found myself wondering whether the neighborhoods that NeNe called quote-unquote ghetto were anywhere near Kenya's apartment, or if the location crews just went out and found the most horrible neighborhood they could see and filmed B-roll. Seeing Kenya's apartment through NeNe's editorial eye, it's telling us what to think about it. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with a white refrigerator, NeNe links. Just like screaming over wire hangers, that is something only brand new money would say. And although I didn't see the first couple of seasons of Atlanta, I remember a time, based in the gossip columns, that NeNe would be happy to have any fridge, let alone a white fridge, so simmer down. Kenya was oohing and ahhing over groceries like she'd never seen olive oil before in her life. The producers are gleefully screwing Kenya, and they won't care whether she comes back or not. Strangely, this treatment will probably make Kenya want to come back for future seasons so she can rehabilitate her image. But unless she makes some friends, that'll never happen. Now, let's get to that Apollo and Phaedra surf and turf showdown, shall we? Apollo complained that he never sees his wife. And although Phaedra mentions babies, dead people, and her study group, she neglected to mention the number one time drain at the moment, the Housewives. I enjoyed seeing Phaedra lay down the law with her husband. However, I would have enjoyed it more if I wasn't looking at sloppy editing. First, Phaedra's interview outfit kept changing, and the food on the table kept moving around, and toward the end of the episode, it disappeared and reappeared. This tipped me off that they cut that dinner scene to shreds in the editing room, and anytime they can do that, they can twist things around. There's a phenomenon in reality TV called frankenbiting, where producers take words that you say at different times or in different scenes and splice them together to create sentences you never said. It happened to me multiple times, and I got so mad I wanted to burn down 30 Rock. But when I saw Phaedra's interview outfit change from orange to black and back again, and the mystery of the disappearing food at the table, I thought, oh no, I wonder how that dinner really went down. So, is orange the new black, or is bad editing the new reality? Speaking of Orange is the New Black, let's get to New Jersey. Wow, the gossip is moving at Mach 2 this week. First, we heard that Teresa Giudice might be fired. Then she's back in. Then filming was supposed to start in November. Now it's December. First, they were not going to show her legal trouble. Now they are. How do we make sense of all that? I bet that there's a grain of truth in all of it. If I had to guess, I would say that first, Teresa said, you can't film my legal troubles for the show. Bravo's natural response to that would be, okay, then you're fired. For the sake of their daughters, let alone their legal fund, the Giudices need to take every single dollar they can get, so it would make sense if that happened that they would cave on that point. Now, although Radar Online reported that the production crew tried to get cameras up in time for returning cast member Dina Manzo's charity gala a couple of weeks ago, I bet that their real goal was Joe Giudice's DMV case, which was supposed to start last week, but has now been postponed to the spring after the 41 counts of fraud case. Now, with that trial pushed back, I would bet you that Sirens Media took a breath and thought, okay, we've got a little bit of time now, let's make sure that we're ready to film season 6. But they've got to move it in any case, because come the spring, I don't think the Giudices will be available anymore. And Beverly Hills. I skipped it this week. Is anybody watching it? I tried to figure out just what the problem is, and here's my theory. Originally, the Beverly Hills franchise was supposed to be about genuinely rich and famous women. Now, we had a bit of that with your Maloof Mansions, Kelsey and Camille Grammer, and the child actresses with a dose of extra bling. And although we've still got Lisa Vanderpump and Yolanda Foster for the bling factor, it seems in other ways like we've gone north to some alternate reality of Orange County with the striving and the swearing and the budgeting and the flip-flopping and the I don't know what. Or maybe the Beverly Hills gals have finally reached the tipping point. There is definitely a point in every franchise where the cast members become grateful for their jobs and therefore willing to do anything to keep them. I think Beverly Hills has finally hit it. Why else would Brandy turn on Lisa like that, huh? Let me know what you thought in the comments. For now, I am Alex McCord. You are watching The Real Deal on TheStir.com. See you next time.